chatting a little bit here about functions. So we're going to answer a couple things here, actually 3 things. Is it a function or not? What is going to be our domain and what is going to be our range? So, first one here, we're going with the chart. So I see the arrows and I'm like, okay, 4 goes to 6, -1 goes to -1, 2 goes to -1, 3 goes to 4. Any guesses? You got a 50-50 shot here. Is this one going to be a function or not? No. Why not? Right. We've got the same x value, well, a different x value going to the same y. So we've got, we're looking and we're going, oh, now let's wait a minute here. So we said we had, repeat that for me.
The -1 and 2 are both going to the -1 output.
Okay, so we've got 2 different inputs going to an output. Now, does that cause me a problem, actually? So let's kind of look at it this way. I'm actually going to change this on the fly. Because currently, in its current form, this actually would be okay. You're like, but wait a minute, there's 2 things going to 1. True. But our rule for a function or not is 1 input can't have 2 different outputs. So let's say this would have looked like this. Now I don't have enough arrows. Now I have 1 input, my x value, again, input is x, creating 2 different outputs. The way it's now created would be, no, 1x can't have 2 y's, but it can work the other way around. So I'm kind of glad that came up, so we'd be able to discuss it a little bit. And we'll get to discuss that a little bit on number 2 here in a minute. Okay, domain. Our x values. What's my domain going to be on this one? Exactly. Here, with our braces, we go from least to greatest with the brace. Again, the braces mean I'm just putting individual numbers. Not going to put anything else. What about our range? What would that be then? -1 or 6. So I think so far it's looking like, and we'll see here on number 2, that our biggest issue is going to be, okay, figuring out this whole function thing or not. So let's see. Second one, we just got coordinate points. 3, -4, 2, -4, 1, 3, and -1, 2. Is this one a function? Yes. Because as we sort of started to say in this first picture before we changed around the arrows a little bit, if I see multiple y values, that's not a big deal. What I'm wanting to focus in on is these x values. Are they all different? -1, 1, 2, 3. None of them repeat. If they repeated, then I'd have, 2 y's for 1 x, and we can't do that. That's probably the trickiest part of this. So then what about our domain and range? -1, 1, 2, 3. And our range, right, and it's not technically wrong if I put both of the -4s there, but if something repeats, I don't have to write it twice. We assume it's going to be in there within our range. So individual points, we list them out, we make it work. But what if we're not just given points? What if we're given a graph? Now, I really don't need the y equals part. I'm just kind of looking here. Do we remember how to tell if something's a function or not? Nice! The vertical line test. Okay, our up and down, looking to see if it goes through more than 1 point. So if you're just kind of walking your way through here, And you're just kind of looking and saying, okay, if I keep putting vertical lines through different places, up and down lines, am I always only going through one point? And if the answer is yes, that's what we've got. So we passed, oh dear, there we go. We passed the vertical line test. Perfect. But now for our domain and range. Domain is x values from left to right. Ooh, I like. Okay, and I like some of the things I'm hearing. I'm hearing things like negative. I heard -1, 3. I got that. I heard -2, 4. Okay. One thing, though, that's causing us a little bit of an issue here. What do the arrows do? They keep going and going forever. So are these going to stop at -2 and 4? Nope. Right on rolling. Right on rolling to, oh, watch this magic. Okay? When I see that arrow going forever to the left, that's negative infinity. Whenever I see arrows, that's usually going to get me infinities here. And since I also have one going to the right, I'm going to have positive infinity going with that. If the arrows weren't here, what you were saying was perfect. And so I want you to keep that in mind. I go, oh, I missed it. No. Just kind of got thrown off a little. Now, range is a little different. Okay? Range, I notice, goes up forever. So that's my top. Does it go down forever? No. How low do we go? -4. Good, because again, we're looking at the y-axis when we're trying to figure that part out. Okay? So, little different when we get the graph, especially if there's arrows. I got one more coming. All right, this time, no arrows. Do we pass the vertical line test? Yeah. We got a little questionable in here, but yeah, that looks like that's going to pass. So, okay, we've got that one. Now, this time, no arrows. So, domain, furthest left to furthest right with my x values. What do we got this time? -3 to 4. Perfect. With our brackets, because that means there's actual endpoints. Okay? We don't use the braces here because we want all the values between -3 and 4. Okay, what about our range from bottom to top? Lowest y value to highest y value. -1 to 4. And just draw back to the axis if we need it. Okay?